As we were talking about later, there is some controversy about whether Lanarkshire, or if Lanarkshire could possibly be put into the highest level of the new restrictions. The Deputy Leader of North Lanarkshire Council, Paul Kelly, joins me now. Good morning, good afternoon rather, Paul Kelly. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon, Gordon. Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Now, you are disputing this idea that Lanarkshire should be put into this Tier 4, the top category.
Yeah, well, we've worked with our colleagues in South Lanarkshire Council, NHS Lanarkshire and the Lanarkshire Police Division to write a letter to the government, and it's based on expert public advice locally to say at this stage we should be placed into level 3. The data they're using is out of date, and currently we are seeing a decrease in infections and that the hospitals have capacity to deal with what's anticipated in the coming weeks. So at this stage we feel it's appropriate to put in level 3, knowing the absolute devastating consequences in our communities and our residents if we go into level 4.
Right, I'm sorry to get into these what appear to be subtle distinctions, but they are important in the context of this. When you say you're seeing a decrease in infections, do you mean the number of cases of people with COVID is going down, or do you mean that the rate of increase in Lanarkshire is flattening out?
We're seeing a flattening out. We're now seeing cases, daily cases decreasing, and in hospitals, we're expecting that there is capacity to deal with what would be coming in the coming weeks in terms of COVID admissions. And right now, our public health people, our experts are saying they're more than comfortable at level 3. The caveat is there, obviously, if there is increases or things change, we can look at it again. 20% of the cases in recent weeks were from the Blackpool situation, people visiting Blackpool. So that sort of accounts for a specific situation that won't be happening in the coming weeks.
Now, when you say you don't believe you're at the threshold that takes you into level 4, that rather assumes you know what the threshold is. I mean, have you been told exactly what the criteria are that would put you into level 4?
I don't think there's ever been any clarity around this. I mean, what happens is we come to the eye of the storm. We're aware that the infection rates were going to increase over the past few months, and both governments suddenly, in the eye of the storm, start coming up with the framework, the criteria. But our public health experts using their framework right now that they've asked us to use are saying that it's safe to put us at level 3, that would be fair.
No, I get that. I'm just curious, almost as a matter of fact, to know whether you were provided with a document or anything else from the Scottish Government saying this is the criteria we will be using in judging which people are in, and what that involves. Is it an estimate of the R number in each particular council area? Is it the number of cases? Is it the rate of increase in the number of cases? Is it the doubling rate of the number of cases, or what?
Well, the document they provided us with and the data they used as the 21st October takes into consideration, almost every factor, as the First Minister said earlier, and that's what will drive their decisions. But a key part of that is what happens locally. And our public health experts would never put any risk onto hospital staff who are working 24/7 right now to protect their communities and residents. And they're saying they're comfortable with level 3, because actually with level 4, you're putting significant consequences onto residents, businesses, that are going to struggle. People could potentially lose their jobs, that are already losing their jobs. And why do that when we're comfortable at level 3? And the caveat is there is we can assess it as the days and weeks go by.
Right, but the bottom line here, presumably, is you might have a say in the sense that you can write a letter, but it's not up to you. If they decide that you have to do this, you have to do it.
That's absolutely true. I mean, this is the first, this current situation regarding further measures, this is the first proper dialogue we've had with local authorities, and certainly us, in coming days. We certainly hope they'll listen to us, and they'll take cognizance of what we're saying, and they'll also look at either level 3 or 4, the funding packages that are required for local councils to protect businesses, to protect residents, and keep doing the work we've been doing through the pandemic to help support people.
Let's lay to one side for a moment, if we can, which level you end up in. One of the things that's come up, particularly in the north of England, is that council leaders have been saying, and people like Dan Jarvis, the Mayor of South Yorkshire, saying, look, if we're going to be put in a certain level, we'd like to know what it is we have to do to get down a level. What are our targets got to be? Have those been made clear to you by the Scottish Government?
No, and I think that's something we have to have discussion over, because obviously if they put us into level 4 based on their own data, which we're kind of disputing, we have to be clear, what is the exit strategy here? What is the requirement to get us down to a different level? And what support, critical to this is what support packages are you going to put in place? They've put in their framework to say that there'll be no additional financial support to councils. That is a completely unacceptable position. Our residents deserve a fair deal to support them through these very difficult times.
Right, just to be clear, so are you saying that no one from the Scottish Government has contacted you to say, well, look, we are considering putting you in level 4, and if we do that, there will be consequences in terms of the financial support that will be available? Because, for example, I think that means that shops, for example, which are not essential, would have to close.
Well, I raised this with the Deputy First Minister on Monday because the leaders. I was clear that you have to look at the financial aspect. In your framework, you're saying there is no additional finances, and that's because of the discussions having with the UK Government. Quite frankly, the UK and Scottish Government need to get their acts together. They need to finance local authorities, which I think everybody now realises are vital in our battle against coronavirus and supporting residents, and they need to come forward with a financial package. That doesn't exist right now, and the clock is ticking.
All right, well, I have to leave it there. Luke, Paul Kelly, thank you very much indeed for joining us.